Good morning, Card Media. Is RJ back with another video, so let's get to it. Today's random Mike Schmidt item of the day from 2006 and I believe 2011. The King of Hearts playing card from the Heroes deck. Interestingly, they put out two editions of this set for the Phillies. This is the 2006 version. I'm not sure if I can catch this. It's kind of like got a textured, trying to catch it in the light there. See how it almost has a textured feel to the surface of the card. And then the 2011 version is silk smooth. No textured pattern of any kind. The fronts look exactly the same. This one's a little tighter to the top. The backs are different. And again, for whatever reason, they put out two versions of the Heroes deck. This is the 2006 version. I know because it's dated on the back. This was the 2011 or 2012 version. You can clearly tell if you got the different one, that the front are different, but also that this is Cole Hamels card. Cole Hamels was nothing in 2006. He wasn't even included in this set. So just great heroes of the Phillies. And the two Mike Schmidt cards are part of my Schmidt collection because there's two different ones. So that is my random Mike Schmidt item of the day. My random baseball item of the day from I gotta think to myself, for 1985, the 1985 Donruss Diamond King set, which is out of the base card set in the 80s. Donruss included the Diamond Kings as the first 27 cards of the set. So card number one going forward, got Ryne Sandberg, clearly a Hall of Famer. Doug DeCences, a longtime veteran player, happened to be with the Angels this year. He was with several teams in his career. Rich Dotson. How many of you even remember there was a guy named Rich Dotson who played baseball? Here he is with the White Sox. Bert Blyleven on the Indians at this time, Hall of Famer. Lou Whitaker on the Tigers, obviously, should be a Hall of Famer. I think Lou will get in eventually, frankly. I think he deserves to be in. Dan Quisenberry, a great reliever, borderline Hall of Famer Quisenberry, because he was an incredible submarine pitcher. Donnie Baseball on the Yankees. Carney Lansford on the A's. Carney Lansford had a lengthy career as a great third baseman. Played with a couple different teams, primarily the A's that I remember him as. Frank Canana, longtime pitcher. Willie Upshaw, a clear veteran. Claudell Washington. Mike Marshall on the Dodgers. Joaquin Andujar for the Cardinals. He was a great pitcher for a while. Here's Junior. Rice. Don Sutton when he was with the Brewers. Frank Viola had a great run in the with the Twins there. Very good pitcher for a couple years. Alvin Davis was a quality slugger. Mario Soto. Jose Cruz, a member of the Astros Hall of Fame. Jose Cruz. His number has been retired too by the Astros. Charlie Lee, highly forgettable pitcher. Jesse Orosco. Everybody remembers Jesse with the Mets. He was, I believe he pitched the last strike for the Mets when they won the World Series in '86. Juan Samuel of the Phillies, still an active member of the Phillies promotions department. Tony Pena, Tony Gwynn, and Bob Brenly. Bob Brenly, eventual manager. And then the checklist card was always number 27 in the cards. I am on my quest to get every Diamond Kings set, not the newer ones, not the Panini Diamond Kings, but these original Dick Perez Diamond King art cards, on my way to get them all. So that's my random baseball item of the day. Today's favorite question, sticking with the baseball, this day in baseball history theme. On this day in baseball history, June the 9th, 1933, this future Hall of Famer took over as manager of the Cleveland Indians. Name this individual. Frankly, I was shocked when I learned that this had happened. I did not know this, but this is true. Just if you want to what you're playing for. Speaking of managers, this is the from the Conlon collection, the limited edition colorized version of Connie Mack's card. Connie Mack, Hall of Famer. This was from 1993. The blue bordered colorized version insert of Connie Mack, obviously the legendary Hall of Fame manager. So in order to get that card, all you need to do is shoot out an answer to that question. I will include my email in the description below, along with a repeat of that question. You will have today and tomorrow to answer. We will pick a winner on Sunday, all right? Good luck to everybody on that one. So today, when I'm showing off, I recently completed my PSA set registry for the all-time great Phillies. So there were 43 cards in the run, spanning the T206 set all the way through some of your more modern cards. Not all Hall of Famers, just all quality players in their own rights, and or legendary members of the Phillies organization in some instances. So I'm going to show off the run. I'm showing off in various groupings. Okay, so the first group is pre-war members of the all-time Phillies PSA set registry who were not part of any championship team. Okay, well, I shouldn't say that. One of them did make it to a championship team, not a World Series championship, but one of these guys, just only one, which I'm surprised that they only included one. There is one guy who made it to the 1915 World Series team, even though that team didn't win it. So let me start off showing the cards. So here is my T206 Sherry McGee. It is not the error card, obviously. Really cool PSA. It's a fair 1.5. I don't care. I also have him in the batting pose in the T206. Standard Piedmont back. Next T206 was a guy named Gavy Cravath. Now, Gavy Cravath, this is a minor league card, believe it or not. He's with Minneapolis on this card. Poor one, but it's a cool card. Piedmont back again. He was a longtime member of the Phillies. In fact, I believe he was briefly a manager for the Phillies in the 20s. Don't quote me on that. But Gavy Cravath led the league in home runs a couple times. Nothing special because of the amount of home runs they were hitting back in the teens. And my first Hall of Fame card for the Phillies, 1933 Gaudy Chuck Klein, good two marked. Somebody had penciled something in here and eventually erased it. But here is my Chuck Klein card. This is what they call a rookie card, probably simply because it's the first card of him in a major release versus one of the regional releases or team releases that were around. So that's my Chuck Klein. Those are the only three individuals who are part of the all-time great Phillies set who were pre-war and had no real grouping to any other group of people. So then you get into a whole bunch of guys. I have 8 cards to show off that were members of the 1950 Whiz Kids. So all these cards now are Whiz Kids players. And these are all their rookie cards. That's what the PSA set registries do. So 1948 Leaf Del Ennis in a 4.5. I always wondered about this one. It's very blurry. It's like a skip image. The printing wasn't very high quality for some reason. So 1948 Leaf Del Ennis. Great hitter he was. 1949 Bowman Kurt Simmons. Yeah, you got to wonder if Kurt Simmons had pitched, would we have beaten the Yankees? To be quite honest with you, probably not. We weren't hitting the Yankees pitching. Had nothing to do with our pitching. We just weren't hitting at all against the Yankees. So that's got a lot of 49 Bowmans. So the 49 Bowman Kurt Simmons. 49 Bowman Andy Seminick. You can see here Andy was the catcher. Kurt Simmons obviously was one of the prime starters that year. 49 Robin Roberts, Hall of Famer. Robin Roberts rookie card. Obviously the pitcher, star pitcher of the team. 49 Bowman Willie Jones. He was the third baseman. Puddinhead was his nickname. You see right there, Puddinhead. I don't know why. I have to research why he got the name Puddinhead. He's just a dumb guy or something like that? I don't know. Make a lot of mistakes? I don't know, but that is my 49 Bowman. This is the last card I needed for the set because it's one of the more expensive ones. 1949 Bowman Richie Ashburn. Got in a PSA 3. Nice orange color. This one's pretty crisp and clear. Good printing on this one. Still sealed in the authentication thing. Now you go on to other Bowman releases. 1950 Bowman Granny Hamner. Granny was their shortstop. So it's the 50 Whiz Kids. Even the references to the Whiz Kids on this 50 Bowman. And then obviously Jim Constanti. This is a cool one. If I were to ever try and complete an MVP set, I would like to think an MVP set was MVPs, cards of the MVPs in their MVP season. And this is a 1950 Bowman Jim Constanti when he won the MVP in 1950. So that's a cool card. So those are your members of the 1950 Whiz Kids that were in the PSA set registry. Then you go into the lean years. So it's not all lean years of, what do I want to say, players who, between now and the 1980 team, but these are all players or other individuals who were with the team, but didn't make a championship. So let's start with this one. 1957 Jim Bunning rookie card, PSA 6. Obviously, Bunning played for a couple different teams, including the Phillies. He's in the Hall of Fame as a Philly. He never made it to the postseason glory with the Phils, unfortunately. Tony Taylor. Some of these guys were on the 64 team, like Bunning would have been on the 64 team. The collapse, that is. Tony Taylor, also with the Phillies during the collapse. I think this one got a generous 6. It's way off center, and it looks like the surface is kind of worn a little bit. There's some blemishes on the surface, but I'll take the 6 if they're going to give it to me. Johnny Callison, great outfielder for the Phillies. Was on the 64 team. Obviously, Dick Allen. Here's his new Hall of Famer, Dick Allen. Nice PSA 6 on that one. Chris Short, pitcher. You see he was on the 64 team. Yeah, just a lot of these guys were 64 members. Then you get past the 64s. This man is Paul Owens. This is his 84 Topps card. He was a manager, but really Paul Owens was a general manager for the Phillies. President, general manager, that kind of stuff. He was scouting director, everything. He is the man pretty much responsible ever since the mid-60s for bringing the players into the Phillies. He was like from the 1960s through the early 1990s. He was our talent guy. He was the guy who got all the talent. And twice he towed the rubber as a manager. You can see down here. He managed a couple games, managed partial season in 1972, and managed a partial season in 83, shepherding them into the Hall of Fame, or the World Series. He did have a minor league career there, you can see. But this is Paul Owens' card that's part of the PSA set registry. Juan Samuel Fleer, 84 and a 10, longtime member of the Phillies. And like I said, here he is wearing he's got the 83 anniversary patch right there. He was a longtime member of the Phillies organization, still to this day. This is one that took me a while to get. 1991 Topps Mike Lieberthal and a PSA 9. There are not many slabbed versions that I could find on the Bay. It's like, why would you slab up a 1991 Topps Michael Lieberthal? So I couldn't find one. And finally, I just found a raw one. I didn't have a raw one. I didn't have a raw, loose 91 Topps Lieberthal. Probably could have found one, but I just went on to the Bay and found one that looked as close to mint as I could find. Picked it up, sent it in, it got a 9. So the Mike Lieberthal rookie card. Mike was a backup catcher to Dalton for a couple of years in the mid-90s, and then when Dutch left in 95, Mike Lieberthal took over the full-time catching duties, and he was doing that until the early 2000s. So Mike Lieberthal was a long-time great member of the Phillies. Another guy, Bobby Abreu. I was kind of surprised to see him on this list versus some other players, but, you know, he was with the Phillies for a while. 1995 Bowman in a 9. Bobby Abreu. Bob Abreu got a little mustache going for him there. So those are the members of the Phillies who also did not achieve postseason glory with the Phillies, but they're on the list. Then you go to the 1980 team. Is that right? What am I looking for? Yeah. Trying to find everything. This is the 1980 team. So for the 1980 team, there are currently 11 people who were part of the Phillies all-time greats PSA set registry who were part of the 1980 team. Frankly, I can think of a couple more I'd like to see added, but they're not in yet. So Dallas Green, who was the manager of the Phillies for that year, he was a longtime scouting director for the Phillies as well. The 1960 Topps Dallas Green. Here's my Pete Rose rookie, PSA 3, obviously the first baseman. My Steve Carlton in a PSA 3. Don't care about the grade, just happy to have the card. Awesome, this one I'm happy to get a cool grade on that. I got a 9 on this card. Picked up early for a really, what I thought was a pretty impressive price for a 9. Tug McGraw's rookie card. Obviously the reliever of the 80 team. Here is Ron Reed's rookie card. Of all the different players you could have taken, why they took Ron Reed over anybody else, just it doesn't make sense to me. But here he is, a nice 5. This one I thought, I don't know why it got a 5. It's incredibly well centered. The corners look sharp. And this is one where I bought the card instead of the grade, you know. So really cool Ron Reed card. Nice Larry Boa. Very much a fan favorite in Philadelphia. He was manager for a while, longtime third base coach. Always a well-loved member of the Philadelphia Phillies organization. Still does things for the Phillies to this day. Greg Luzinski, our left fielder eventually. And Luzinski, he still runs a restaurant, I should say, barbecue joint down at the ballpark. You still go to Bull's Barbecue on game day, and he's there signing. Gary Maddox, 73 Topps. He was our center fielder for both the 80 and 83 team. John Vukovich. Now, John Vukovich was a member of the 80 World Series team. He never played in the World Series, but he was on the roster. And he's not in so much for being a member of the team because his playing career was pretty pathetic. But he was on here because he was a long-time coach for the Phillies. He was with the Phillies organization after he retired in the early 80s. He was in various roles, but a long-time coach all throughout the 90s and early 2000s, John Vukovich. So you got your Bob Boone, our catcher. 73 Topps rookie, along with Mike Schmidt. Now, this is my second PSA Mike Schmidt card, my lower grade of a PSA 3. I keep that in my other sets. My 7 is part of my Mike Schmidt set registry. So those are the ones who are part of the 1980 team. Now we move on to those who were in the 1993 team who were part of the PSA All-Time Phillies set registry. Now, first I want to show off one who wasn't. This is a card I keep there, but he is not part of the registry right yet. This is my 1978 rookie Larry Anderson card, who is a longtime Philly, member of the 93 team, broadcaster currently, but he's an absolutely fan favorite. Larry Anderson shares a rookie card with some guy named Jack Morris. So I'm happy to have it in a PSA 7. And again, Larry is not part of the set registry. So, in fact, there are only 4 of the 93 members who actually made it into the set registry. I find that hard to believe. I think there are several other members of the 1993 team who should be part of the PSA set registry, but at this moment they are not. The ones who are Darren Dalton. This is his 85 Fleer Update rookie. Nice 10 on that one. 86 Topps Dykstra in a 9. Tried to get a 10, but they're hard to find in any decent grade because of the black border. 87 Topps John Kruk in a 10. I don't know why PSA didn't use the Topps traded from 86, but they did not in the registry. And then, of course, your Schilling, 89 Donruss Kurt Schilling rookie, sporting the mustache. I do hope Kurt gets into the Hall of Fame someday. I really do. He deserves it. But those are the members of the 1993 team who got in. And then lastly, of course, if you're going to do an all-time great Phillies set, you have got to acknowledge the 2008 World Series team. So let's take a look at who made the all-time great Phillies registry, PSA registry for that set. And it is manager Charlie Manuel, Chuck Manuel, 1970 Topps card. Phillies manager in 2008 and up and down from there. Cool Bowman, Jimmy Rollins, 1998 Bowman. Got that in a 10. Also got a chrome version too. So here is 1999 Topps Pat Burrell, rookie. Surprised he didn't go Bowman on this one. Don't know why. He was our left fielder. Chase Utley, 2000 Bowman draft picks. These are the cards that are on the PSA set registry. That's why I have them. Really cool Bowman Chrome Cole Hamels. So you got to wonder why sometimes they did a Chrome. Sometimes they did a Chrome draft pick. Makes no sense at all. The rhyme or reason. This is a 2002 for Cole Hamels. 2003 Bowman draft picks Ryan Howard on Team USA in this picture. Really cool. Already got his Phillies hat on. Then you have your Shane Victorino, 2003 Bowman first card. Shane Victorino. Looks like he's got a Padres uniform on there. You know, probably a spring. There's Red Sox people in the background, so this is probably a spring training game. There he is on the Padres. Jamie Moyer, 87 Topps in a 10. And then lastly, this guy was not on the 2008 World Series team, but he is part of the PSA set registry of all-time great Phillies. I got to get this re-slad because it's a crack in the holder, but 1997 Roy Halladay. So that is it. That is my run. I have completed my PSA set registry of the all-time great Phillies. Happy to have that done. Moving on to more stuff to collect. Always more to add, isn't there? So that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please consider like, subscribing, commenting, and all that jazz. I really do appreciate your support as I try my best to support everybody else's great card reading here, right? Come back again Wednesday and Friday. We will have more for you to view. And again, on Sunday, we do our trivia recap, so come back for that as well. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great rest of your week, and take care.